Welcome back to Gear for Music. We're here at Humber Street Sesh and we're here with Howl The Hum. Sam, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Yeah, it's lovely.
How does it feel to be headlining Humber Street Sesh? Obviously, it's a big festival when it comes to Hull.
Surprising, but we're honoured. They've been really supportive of us ever since we first played 1 billion years ago. But yeah, it's lovely. It's amazing. I can't believe we get the opportunity to play. Sounds great on this stage. They put so much effort into it as well. And it's paying off. It's an honour to come back to Hull and play. It's great. Love it here.
Yeah, we've spoke to like Mac and Dan and they seem really busy with everything they've been doing.
Those guys are the best. They work so hard. And I feel like, this is like a big payoff for them, I guess, because it's sort of like honoured and everyone is honoured to play for them and they're just so kind to us. So
yeah, they're fantastic guys. Like Hull local myself, I've known them for a while. They do a lot for independent music in the city as well, and without them we wouldn't have everything like this today. So let's dive a little bit more into you guys. This is obviously not the first time you've played Humber Street. You've played it a few times in the past, so rising to the headline slot, that must be really cool for you guys. How does that sort of feel to see that development over time with your fan base in Hull?
Really cool. Hull has always been very kind to us. I'm not even from Yorkshire. The band is so associated with Yorkshire because it started here and it's been based here for such a long time. So to be sort of honoured with the headline slot is still kind of crazy.
And that's fantastic. Like you say, like your band is kind of very linked to Yorkshire. You've got the York Minster sessions that you did as well.
Yeah.
But it's really cool that you kind of are championing Yorkshire, even though you say yourself you're not. So let's dive a little bit into your sound. So you've kind of got this like indie folk explosion sort of thing going on. Everything's building, everything's atmospheric, everything's really cool. So talk us a little bit about how you get that sound, because it is great.
Thank you. So it always starts from the song. Pretty much all the songs are either written on an acoustic guitar or a piano. So that's the very folky element where it's all built, and then we add. It's all about like shrouding the song. It's about building it up from sort of truest emotional place. And so we've got a lot. So we've had a bit of changeover of lineup as well over the years. Originally it was just me. Then it was me and a bass player, and then it was me and 3 other guys for a long time. Connor, our old guitar player, introduced me to this pedal, which Arun is going to come to on his pedal board, but the Crayon, which is like the craziest distortion pedal, and these POGs, which we have on each of our pedal boards, which is sort of quite, I'd say, really good for expanding a sound. It makes it quite stereo, makes it lovely and paddy. We were really influenced by a lot of ambient music, a lot of like the burial stuff. A lot of these pedals are to do with making a single wavelength sound a bit more human, sound like it's breathing. And so we're always interested in analog ways to keep a signal fuzzing and feeling like it's always moving. But then we also, there's always going to be indie, so we always love a guitar. So we're very proud of the true signal of the guitars. My favourite sound is just a Fender Tele, and Arun's Gibson is just nuts.
I mean, they're both fantastic guitars. Like, you can't beat the sound of
even with no pedals. I think that's quite indicative. This lineup here is quite indicative of the sound.
Yeah.
Like a big, lovely, heavy bass. Acoustic guitars to sort of like for the trueness of the folky song element, and then like my 2 favourite guitar sounds. Like that's sort of, it's like it's the classic.
So in terms of like your acoustic, your Martin guitar, obviously that's been with you for a while, a few live sets you've been playing on that. How do you find Martin guitars overall? How does that kind of emphasise your sound?
Oh, it's just the nicest built guitars. I really love these smaller bodies as well. I've always been a fan because I was a nylon guitarist before I was a steel string guitarist.
Yeah.
And these remind me so much more of a nylon shape. I've never been a fan of a cutaway on an acoustic guitar. The sort of the trueness of it, it's such a light guitar. It's really loud. It's got the crazy new Martin pickup, so it sounds really good. I've never been a huge fan of a DI'd or a jack input of the acoustic, but that's the best it's ever sounded. I've got really annoying strings on it at the moment, and I feel a bit like a kid because I'm getting all these marks in my fingers today because I've got the gauge on too heavy. So I'm really worried I'm going to screw up today. But that's the only worry I have with that guitar. But that Martin is the best acoustic guitar I've played.
I mean, I'm sure you'll be fine. You must have calluses on your fingers already from the amount of gigs you've been playing.
I just feel like a kid. I feel like a baby, like learning to play the guitar again.
Obviously, from your first album, coming into Same Mistakes Twice, how did your pedal board change and develop over that? Did you change the sounds you were using? Did any guitar, any part of your rig change when it came to the production of that?
I didn't really play acoustic guitar before this second album. So I started then, that's why I've got 2 tuners and a DI. So this top corner is the little DI and tuner for my acoustic guitar. So the introduction of that, of an acoustic guitar did sort of change the sound of the second album, which I guess is probably the main change. Otherwise, I've never really been too much of a pedal buyer, I tend to that's why I get a second guitar player in, because they can do all the spooky stuff and I can just be a funny little guy.
You could just focus on your sound while everyone else
Something like
comes in the back and helps you sound the best you can be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's the way to have it.
Yeah.
I guess next we'll look at Naomi's
Yeah,
pod.
wicked.
We're here with Naomi from Howl The Hum. I was going to say like welcome or like introduction to Gear for Music, but you're kind of a veteran of the channel anyway. You've been on here, so we don't need to do those.
I'm aware of your work, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
If you look at any bass thing we did over like 3 years ago, you'll be on there probably.
I might be on there somewhere, yeah. Lurking in the shadows.
In the shadows. And then obviously you've moved on from Gear for Music and you're now very active in the scene. We're here at Humber Street Sesh today. How does it feel to be headlining the festival?
Fantastic, yeah. It's always an honour to play with the Howl The Hum in any sense. I've got to do a bit of recording, bit of touring with them, and we're all delighted to be here in Hull today for Humber Street Sesh. We've been looking forward to it and rehearsing for like a couple of months, so yeah.
As a local, I do want to say you might be the first person to say delighted to be in Hull, but like I don't want to
People say that about Hull. I love it here. I've been here a couple of times. I think it's lovely. Every city in the UK has its unique vibe, and Hull is no different.
It does. I don't want to speak badly because it's my hometown, but yeah. So let's dive a little bit into your sound. I know that you've been using Charvel guitars for a while. Explain a little bit your reasoning behind that and why they're so perfect for your sort of playing.
Sure, yeah. So I think loosely for many years now I've been generally flying the flag of the Fender family of instruments and gear. Charvel came about because I play sort of across quite a few different projects, a few different styles, and I have been quite busy the last sort of 2-ish years playing with a metal project, which is how the sort of Charvel idea came about. So what I have with me today is the Sandemus, Pro Mod Sandemus 4. I have no less than 3 of them, so I am quite keen on them, I'd say. I do have a mahogany body, which is a beautiful natural finish. Today is the sort of pearl white finish. They're fantastic. They sort of tick a lot of the boxes that I like in all basses, let alone the sort of Charvel vibe. Obviously, usually geared a little more towards heavy music. Yeah. Some very, very hot DiMarzio pickups in there. PJ configuration, which I love in any bass. Yeah. For the Howl The Hum, I have things dialed quite calmly. Yeah. I'm really just using the neck pickup, and then using a few soft little bits of drive and compression in the signal chain as well. So I'd say today specifically the Charvel isn't roaring too angrily, but yeah, just the feel of the neck, the sound of the bass I've been very keen on for a long time, and I have found that it suits different gigs.
Yeah, I mean, it is a complete contrast, like with the music you'll be playing today to the last 2 years. I mean, it's gonna...
Yes, correct.
So like having those hot pickups in there, I imagine you've got to kind of keep them dialed down on a little bit of a leash kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So the bass has an active-passive push-pull pot, which is dead handy, literally switch on the go. So when I'm playing with heavier acts, which I will be later in the week with the same bass, that'll be in active mode, and today it's in passive. So I can still get all of the classic tones of a P bass really if I want.
That's a really cool feature because then that means it's even more versatile. I know we mentioned it's versatile, and that's like on every single product listing you'll see at Gear for Music is the word versatile, but it truly is with that push-pull switch.
It is, yeah, and in the active circuit as well, there's a really nice, really responsive 3-band EQ as well, so also nice to have.
Even better.
Nice to have is like that's the toolkit of any session musician, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
You want options.
You want it to be able to do everything and everything all at once, don't you, really?
100%, yeah.
So expanding on the versatility there, you've got the Line 6 HX Stomp, which...
Yes, I have. May I pick it up so I
can pick it up,
so I can hold it like a little child?
So
the magic wand of many a musician.
It truly is, honestly. Like we were on about versatile with the bass, and this is gonna top it, isn't it? So dive a little bit into how like that affects your sound, how you use that in different settings as well. And I'm intrigued by the massive exclamation mark on the front there.
The no and the effects, yes, of course. Yeah, well, you've said it yourself, Fraser. Versatility is the name of the game with many products in the industry, but the HX Stomp is probably one of the more strong representations of the last 10 years in terms of like a versatile effects tool. There's obviously been many successors to it that rightly everyone's talking about, you know, across different brands. Fender have the Tone Master, Kemper Profiler, Neural DSP are doing incredible work. And somehow the HX Stomp still mostly stands up against its competition. So yeah, as mentioned, the sort of range of sounds that I may need to call upon for a show or for a tour, are so varied. But to be able to just switch between presets that I've saved, some of them using maybe the effects loop, some of them part of a much bigger board. Obviously today I'm using it just on its own. So I've got a compressor, I've got the 10-band EQ doing some hard work in there, and I've got the dark glass equivalent drive to switch in if I need, and the Kinky Boost as well, which I believe is based on the Exotic EP Boost.
Nice.
So yeah,
You've got everything in
so
there.
it's pretty simple in there. I'm not doing too much by way of fancy connections today, but it's always nice to know that I could if needed. Massive shout out. I don't know if these are still in production, but Pedal Train Nano is an accessory I will bang on about forever because its bag will tie to the neck of your gig bag. So yeah, for a muso on the move, it's a good one to have, and for just lifting on and off stage as well.
And I was gonna say, like, you've still got room on that board to add another pedal, and the fact that you haven't.
Another two, probably.
Another
yeah.
two, and the
Yeah,
fact
yeah.
you haven't, and the HX Stomp's doing it all. I mean, that speaks volumes, really.
It does. Great pun right
Yeah,
there.
it does. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that.
It does speak volumes.
I didn't mean to do
yeah,
that.
Indeed. But yeah, so today you're definitely seeing my rig at its most simple, other than, I mean, maybe blues gigs I've done in the past where I'd have literally tuner, a soft overdrive, but today it's all in the box.
Awesome. Thank you for giving us a rundown
Of
your
course,
stuff.
absolutely. More than happy.
Cheers. All right, now we're here with Arun, the guitarist from Howl The Hum. How are you doing?
Real good, yeah.
Yeah, how I've asked everyone the same question, so I'll ask you, how does it feel to be headlining Humber Street Sesh today?
Oh, it's great. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been before, but I've been walking through the Humber Street. There's loads of stages.
Yeah.
I'm really excited, yeah. I think it should be a fun day.
You can, like, we're here early and we can already tell it's going to be quite a vibrant day. Things are busy, things are loud already, so yeah, obviously Sam mentioned he kind of focuses on the guitar sounds, and then he lets you kind of do the additional bits and the fancy stuff in there. So tell me a little bit how you get that fancy sounds as.
Yeah, so mostly I'd say it's between the POG and the DL4 MkII. The POG for mostly octave stuff, and then the attack feature, so you can take out the attack, which makes it sound a lot more synth-like.
Yeah.
That's really fun. The DL4, this is the second one, so they've got double the delays as they were on the first one, and you've got these secret reverbs as well. So in the combinations, you can get some really cool sounds.
Yeah.
Had loads of fun with that pedal. I feel it'd take a lifetime to sort of figure out. It's one of those.
I mean, there's so much the DL4 does. It's like
It's ridiculous,
It's like an
yeah.
absolute staple of like delay sounds, isn't it? At this point,
Totally,
like,
and the looper as well, like the fact you can change the pitch and reverse the loops and everything. There's loads of fun to be had in there. It's hard to use live a lot of the time, so I don't really use the looper for this set, but for writing and stuff like that, it's really great.
yeah.
And then there's this Fairfield circuitry. I've got two Fairfield pedals. The Shallow Water is amazing. It's like it's a chorus vibrato pedal, but the time isn't regular. It's like you choose like an area and it sort of fluctuates. I would always get annoyed about it would like jar me, the regular dig
Yeah.
of like a
I completely
chorus
understand that. It
vibrato
kind of
thing.
throws you a little
This
bit.
sort of means that you don't have to worry about tempo and that kind of thing, or lining it up or being a bit out, because it sort of wobbles at its own, in its own sort of time universe. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You can get it sound really, really weird or be kind of just a standard chorus.
That's really cool. That it's like it can give you those sounds without actually having to tap tempo it or
Yeah.
input anything. It's like,
Really, really helpful, yeah.
means you don't have to faff with it on stage. It's just going to do what you need it to do.
Totally.
Sam highlighted the Crayon, and I'm intrigued to hear what you have to say about it now.
I love the Crayon. It's the best. Yeah, maybe the one pedal I'd really need for this set, which is surprising because it's not that heavy. We're not that heavy a band, you know.
No.
But the Crayon gets this super, it's almost like a chewy, overdriven sound. I think it's based on like a console, like a Neve console overloading.
Yeah.
So sort of like a digital fuzz. It just sounds amazing. The way it breaks up sounds really natural. And it just gives sounds that I've never found on any other pedal. You can get the color box as well, which has got like an EQ on it, which I did want, but it didn't fit on my little board, so I got the Crayon instead, yeah.
Nice. Obviously, I can see you've got a volume control there. Do you, with Sam using it to kind of enter his take his attacks off? I know you mentioned that the POG kind of does that for you. What is?
Yeah.
Is it just there for utility, just so you can mute, or is it?
A lot of it, yeah. I mean, the POG is like, because you set an attack time, and it'll do the same. It'll have the same arc. Whereas with this, if I want to get more natural with it, I can change depending on each chord or each note or whatever.
Yeah.
I can change how long it takes to fade in and out, which is really useful. And also just generally gain staging slightly. I mean, we've got our sound man Drew, who's an absolute legend who makes me not have to think about any of this stuff really. But if we're doing gigs and we haven't got Drew, it's a little bit more like, because I know some of these pedals are a little bit louder than others. Even if I try and stage them right, they have like slightly different sounds.
So that's Drew's backup then.
That's yeah. Without Drew, I have to use that, but mostly I'm good. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your Gibson. It is a stunning little sunburst guitar.
It's
so
a beautiful
I say
guitar.
little,
Yeah.
It's a semi-hollow. Do you want to talk us a little bit through it?
Yeah, it's a 2012 ES-335. I just fell in love with it as soon as I started playing it. It's amazing. It does everything, like literally everything. Really responsive, like really clear. You can get it to be dark and punchy, which you can't really do with that. I had a telly before. If you want like a dark sound that still has like bite to it, like if you're rolling the tone back, it often doesn't cut through, especially when you go higher up the neck. The Gibson does. The humbuckers are really fat. It's just a wicked guitar. I love it.
I mean, ES-335s are a staple as well, and I completely get what you mean in terms of like Telecaster. If you want that darkness and you want that bite, it doesn't quite always do it.
No, it's a bright sort of twangy sound. I think they pair really well together with Sam on the telly. We found a nice little sound world in playing those two guitars together. It felt right. Yeah.
I was gonna point that out, because you do have Sam with the telly that kind of has that like brightness, and then you've got that little darkness onto it. Then with you both using POGs as well and having that little synth, I guess it gives you that kind of like contrast to each other as well.
Yeah, we have quite different tones. He does tend to go for quite a bright. On like when we're bringing our own amps, he's got a Blues Junior.
Nice.
And I've got a Princeton. We've got Princeton. Tone Master Princeton. Actually sounds wicked, and it's nowhere near as heavy as the real ones. Yeah, and it
Digital modeling, baby.
Yeah,
it's great. Yeah.
sounds unbelievable. So yeah, the two tones are quite different. I go for a slightly darker Princeton tone, and he's often like got the top end, especially with the sort of the louder ones where he's playing with drive on his telly. I kind of take a slightly different sonic range.
Nice. And I've got to ask, because we have to ask every guitarist, how many guitars do you actually have?
It's a dangerous question, that.
Dangerous question.
So like, hopefully it'll be more in a year. I've got
the
one
dangerous
acoustic
answer.
and two electrics that I use. I have got my first electric as well, which is like a Encore SG copy. That it totally did the job. Amazing. As soon as you turn it up more than like 4 or 5, it's like, but before then, really good.
My first guitar was an Encore. I know exactly what you mean.
Unbelievably wicked though. Like they've ripped the whole time, which is great. It makes you feel like you're a rock star when you're like 10 years old. And
We do have to say that they're not quite as good as Gear for Music and stuff, but
absolutely not.
But wait, cheeky little plug for us then, on our own channel. No, cheers for running through that with us.
Sure.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, you too, and have a fab time headlining.
Yeah, really looking forward to it.
Cool.